Hello. Sorry about that. Mm. There we go. All right. I usually did this. I don't remember how exactly I worded it, but yeah. I might take breaks for that. Let me open. Let me heat this up while the game opens. All right. So let us play. Might sometimes have no cam on, so I'm sorry about that. When that happens. So let's load. All my memories had it just had to be that two of us met it back in middle school. We didn't share any classes, so there was never a chance for us to talk. At the time, AC was shy and awkward. It was to the point that he was bullied nearly every day by other students. I didn't think he deserved it, but I never saw a reason to intervene. What's the point when we weren't even friends? Until one day, my father took me with him to an interview. We bumped into this old guy who ended up being the owner of the company my father was applying for. As he led me to the waiting room, I noticed a boy my age approach the man. Two seemed close to each other, so I did some research once I got home. Turns out that old man was Ace's father. From then on, I went out of my way to protect Ace. It didn't matter how much trouble I got into or the amount of bruises that appeared on my skin. All I wanted was some cash as a thank you. But he became clingy and did everything to stay by my side. Wow. So you did it more for selfish reasons rather than, you know, good reasons. Before I knew it, we shared the same classes. lunch at the same table and walked home together. Ace was a good distraction from my other problems in my life. Then we stopped being friends in our second year of high school. It's terrible. Why would they do that? I know I shouldn't be surprised, but I seriously didn't expect them to plan a trip out of town without me. It's a new low even for them. I didn't think they'd go all out at all. Honestly, they've been doing nothing but complaining about how poor we are for the past few months. They're trying to find someone to take care of me in the house while they're gone. So I'm sure it'll be fine. But the last time something like this happened, they ended up forgetting. Either that or the sitter didn't bother showing up. Anxiety, sorry. Let me turn off the camera. Alright. We'll continue. Oh god. I didn't even realize. Okay, so last time it was out of ratio. Probably caused by me. Sorry. Alright. Kind of hoping I don't get one. Then I could keep the money they leave behind all for myself. Do you even need a babysitter? You're old enough to take care of yourself. Yeah, it sucks having one, but they don't trust me. Apparently the last time they left me alone, I trashed the house and ran away. Not my fault they hid the remote. I didn't have a phone at the time, so I was bored out of my mind. You stay at my place if you want to. There's plenty of space, and my parents love having guests over. And I made sure to tell them only good things about you. They really want to meet you. I'll think about it. Oh, that reminds me. Could I borrow some money? I heard Salem is taking part in an upcoming play. I'm wanting to see him act for a while now, but the prices are a bit too high. Says you're rich and all, I know you can spare some cash. It's probably like no way, I'll pay you back when I got a job. Oh god, just put it out of my tab. I am uncomfortable. Cause I am being a dick. 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 Maybe we can go together. Why did you fall in love with me, man? Why did you fall in love with me? When it's obvious I was taking advantage of you. It's like, oh. I was a bitch. He's like, what? No, you weren't. Like, I was taking advantage of you. Hey, you still fell in love with me? Like, we can even get something to eat before and after. If that's what you want, then I'll pick up the place. Your usual tastes are too expensive for me. 2 days later was when we had our argument. There you are, Snow. Give me a warning next time you're planning on being absent. It was really awkward having to eat lunch alone. I knew you were going to be here. I would have found some other place to eat. I'm sure it wasn't that bad. You're just very dramatic. My point still stands. It gets lonely when you're not here. Blame my parents then. They're the ones who insist I drive them to the airport when I was already running late. Went from being 5 minutes late to have almost 2 hours late because of them. Might have been more if I actually chose to go to school. But I was exhausted from all the driving, so I went home and passed out instead. As for today, I forgot to set my alarm. Overslept. I woke up like an hour ago. I'm still sluggish. Of course you did. How about I stopped calling you in the morning to help you wake up? Sure, but I broke my phone a few days ago. I absolutely crushed it while my parents rearranged furniture, so I'm saving up to get a new one, so you'll have to wait until then. How much more do you need? I can help pay. I'm not sure. Friends don't use each other for money. now I'm not being the dick. When I was doing that, I'm already in a lot of debt. You don't have to pay me back. Just promise to hang out with me more. That sounds perfect. Let's go. You were still doing the thing you. I barely have anything since I'm jobless, but I'll bring what I have. So I completely forgot. I'm actually busy after school. We can go on Saturday instead. That way we can spend the whole day together. You're not usually busy. What happened? Did you find someone else above? I'm not sure I should say you might get angry with me. I may or may not. You won't know unless you tell me. It has to do with Salem. Go on. Yesterday, Salem approached me. I sat here like usual, just eating my lunch, not expecting to talk to anyone. He sat down next to me and called me handsome and cute. He's so much nicer than I thought he was. Are you okay, Snow? I'm fine, you can continue. I don't think I should continue. Anyway, after complimenting me, he told me about the play he's in. He said he is the person he was supposed to kiss in it. And he convinced the teacher to let him pick someone to replace them. I know I'm not in theater, but he said it's fine since Salem picked you of all people. That's right. I tried to reject him at first since I have no clue how to act, but he promised to teach me everything I need to know. I'll be practicing with him after school from now on. Oh wow, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you're ditching me. Hang out with a guy you know I'm interested in. And I even act like acting. I do. At least you get done and recommend me. Fuck, what the fuck? Why am I being a bitch? Instead of taking the offer for yourself, I'm sorry, Snow. I could introduce you too. I'm sure you wouldn't mind switching me out for someone more handsome and talented. No need. I'm sure he only chose you because he's found out how rich you are. Yeah, I can pay him. I'll pay him whatever he wants. I'll give him my entire allowance if I have to. Shut up, I'm leaving. Oh, God. I am so horrible. I am so horrible. Why did you fall in love with me? Why did you fall in love with me, man? I didn't think it would become such a problem. It's not anything for thank me for, AC. Acting is supposed to be fun, not scary. Besides, we're best friends now. I can't have you be uncomfortable around me. Actually, are we actually friends? And not just saying things to be nice, right? I won't kiss someone I'm not friends with. Doesn't matter if it's fake or just on the cheek. Then you're my friend too. My parents are gonna be so happy when I tell them I have to. Well, I don't think Snow wants to be friends with me anymore. But I'm sure they'll still be more than happy with you. Did things not go well with Snow? It was horrible. He was so mad at me. You're right. I should have kept it a secret. I'm always right. But this isn't good at all. I'll have to go talk to him. He should understand if I explain. He already made up his mind. We shouldn't bother him unless we have to. You can't just give up, AC. If you do, then you might not ever get to see him again. I'll figure something out. I wish he would stop ignoring me. He needs the space right now. Oh, you poor thing. Let's get practice for today. We can get something to eat and figure out what to do about this. I have a few ideas on how to fix this. Does that sound good? It does. One. God, I am such a bitch. Great. Let me get my bag real quick and then we can go. Oh, I'm such a bitch. Oh, I'm a bitch. Oh, I'm a bitch. Oh, I'm a bitch. At the time, I thought that if Ace got injured, someone would have no choice but to pick someone else. And hopefully that someone else would be me. If I wasn't chosen, things might have returned to normal. My defense, I was a stupid, jealous teenager who never thought twice about what he did. All I wanted was for him to break a leg or an arm. Anything to stop him from being in that play. Never thought he'd lose an eye. Wait, I thought it was an intruder that wait, no. Like an intruder and then he fell down the stairs. So it was just from falling down the stairs. I thought it was the stairs in the apartment. No. God damn it. Okay. So he fell down the stairs and it was our fault. Never thought he'd lose an eye. You okay, AC? I heard a... Ace, are you okay? It's alright. It's probably just a broken nose, nothing too serious. Okay, get the nurse. Try to sit up for now. Ace healed faster than expected. Sure, he had to wear an eye patch and had a limp, but he was still able to participate in the play. I didn't bother watching it. I knew seeing those two together would only upset me more. Afterwards, I began avoiding him like a plague. I even switched classes to make sure I never see him. God, I am a bitch. I am a fucking bitch. I thought it was fine. He looked happier than he had ever been with me. It would stop picking on him when they thought he was alone, and Selim helped him make friends he had things in common with. Of course, none of them ever asked for money like I did. Was all of this some elaborate plan to get revenge? Was he trying to get me to fall in love with him so he could break my heart like I did his? No, that couldn't be it. It would have been some sort of sign if he hated me. It's not like I was that bad of a friend. I still hung out with him, whether he gave me money or not. I even enjoyed talking to him from time to time. I'd say you were that bad of a friend. Not to mention that he had plenty of money. There was no way he'd be upset with losing a few $100. Though it does make me wonder, was this why I hadn't been bothered by Ace murdering Austin? Might have killed Ace. If it meant having a chance with Selim, just like how he killed Austin to have a chance with me. Can't imagine myself doing it now. But I wouldn't put it past my teenage self. Earlier, he said he remembered falling down the stairs. It was just a blur to him. Should I tell him what really happened? It would only be fair, since he already admitted everything. I think it's honest. Best case scenario, he'll take me home and everything will go back to normal. There's nothing I could do if Ace were to suddenly decide that he wanted revenge. That was a risk I was willing to take. I need to tell you something, Ace. When he fell down the stairs, it wasn't an accident. What do you mean by that? We were so happy together. Seeing that, I just did the first thing that came to mind. I didn't like that someone chose you. I didn't like the idea of you giving attention to someone else. I thought that if I pushed you, I'd be able to fix both problems at once. Like, I'm fucking horrible. I am so horrible. I am so horrible. What is wrong with you? These hurt. This was so much more embarrassing to admit than I thought it'd be. I was sure Ace could see how red my face had become. Sorry. I was supposed to lose an eye from it. Can you repeat that last part? Part about you wanting my attention. No, I'm not repeating myself. It's hard enough telling you all of this. Please, no. I'll pay. Were you not listening to me? I pushed you down the stairs and you last died because of it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just glad you're the one who did it. Don't get me wrong, I am upset, just not for that. Completely ignored me from that day on. Who cares if it was out of guilt or an attempt to not get caught. I can't forgive you for that, Snow. This means it should be fine if I do something you might not forgive me for, right? Damn it. What are you gonna do? Blind me so we match? You're so funny, Snow. I would never dream of hurting you. Let's see, what am I gonna do? I'm not the best at this. I find it easier to have someone to tell me what to do instead of figuring things out on my own. Every time I made a decision on my own, nothing good has ever happened. From telling you about the play to trying to get Austin's phone away from him. Oh, I got it. I don't think it's something I'll regret. You don't mind, right? What you did to me will affect me for the rest of my life. It's only fair that I do something that will affect you for the rest of yours. I don't know. What? How is that? Without any hesitation, Ace pulled the pocket knife and plunged it into his own stomach. Fuck. I didn't think there'd be so much blood. Shock expression was so cute, Snow. What the hell is wrong with you? Don't worry, I thought this through. Well, as thoroughly as I could. In a few minutes I had, I was never good at improv. In a situation like this, do you think people will believe? An ordinary person claiming an actor kidnapped them just to go on a date? Or me when I said I broke into your home, tried to rob me and stab me when I confronted you. Hopefully it's enough to get you arrested and sent away for a long time. Once you're gone long enough to lose your job and apartment, I'll bail you out. If I can't, I'm more than willing to break you out. Then you'll have no choice but to live and rely on me. It's a great plan, right? Right? I'm glad you agree. Someone will be down soon to get rid of the evidence for our date. Well, covering the will. Ace rushed upstairs to call the police. Everything he could have done, I never expected that. It's my fault for not leaving when I had the chance. Staying here didn't sound bad. I wouldn't have to work or worry about paying rent. Sure, I wouldn't be able to become an actor, but I'd find a way to feel the same way that acting made me feel. Just hope he wouldn't get tired. Damn. What the fuck? Don't tell him. No way I could just admit it. Things had been fine up until now. He might suddenly decide to get revenge if I told him. Yep, he did that. I was sure he wouldn't do anything too drastic, but I didn't want to risk it. There's plenty of things we left off on I want to talk about. I wanted to be honest with you. I wanted to be honest with you so bad. So badly. But no. I'd only confuse you if I brought it up, so I didn't bother mentioning it. Like that popular show we used to watch together. Actually, I heard they're finally making another season. I was even offered a role as one of the side characters. They said I matched the image the author had in mind when writing the book. I wasn't really paying attention. I considered accepting since I knew you'd watch it, but I'm not sure if I should anymore. I hate to ruin a show you liked by being in it. Do what you want. You look completely different from when I last saw you. I'm sure after some makeup and a change of clothes, you'll be completely unrecognizable. Helps that a lot of time will have passed from now to then. Right. But if you're so concerned, there's one thing you can do. You can always go back to having black hair. Maybe another color entirely? I should do that either way. My hair has gotten pretty damaged from bleaching it so often. Which is a shame. Been told I'm pretty attractive like this. By who? Selim? Yes, he's also suggested my haircut. I usually like his clothes, so I don't mind letting him decide for me. It's pretty weird how much he does for you. To be honest, I prefer your old look. You were cute even when you were failing to impress me. You think so? If that's how it is, I'd be more happy to go back to how I was for you. Do what you want. How late is it? I feel like I'm gonna pass out any moment now. Ace took out his phone from his pocket and checked the time. It's past the time usually go to sleep. If I take you home now, you'd be able to rest for 3 to 4 hours before you have to go in. Great, I'm sure I'll get it. Alright, I'll take you home then. But before that, I have a question to ask. Snow, I know this whole situation has been a lot to handle, and I know you weren't exactly happy at the start. I'm really glad you were able to move past it. Not really. I was expecting some compensation for going through with it, and I'm more happy to provide. Nah. Like, and I would, if I was a bitch like I was back then, I would ask you for money, but I don't feel like that's fair. It's like, I can do it. Like, no, I was a bitch. I use you for money because I know you were rich. I hated that. You didn't deserve it. I don't even know why. You fell in love with me. I did horrible things. And you fell in love with me. Sorry about that. So I was wondering if you'd like to date me from now. Like us seeing each other every day and holding hands, that kind of dating. You can date. What the hell does I'm not interested do? I don't know. We can date. I might as well. It's the least I can do after all the trouble I put you through. Seriously? I didn't think you'd say yes. Selim is going to be so glad once he hears about this. I'll start preparing our next date right away. Something more romantic with better food too. I won't have to worry about the preparations. I know what you like, so I'll figure out all on my own. Don't stress about it too much. Literally anything is more romantic than this. I think it's best we forget this night ever happened. Yeah. Ace took off the handcuffs and helped me stand up. I'll take you home. I need to start preparing as soon as possible. It's a 40-minute drive from here to there. You can sleep in the car if you get too tired. Actually, I could stay here for the night. It's easier for the both of us if you just drive me to work in the morning. What about your clothes? I don't think I have anything in your size here. I'm fine with baggier clothes as long as they're not too expensive. I don't want to be wearing luxury brand. Work at a convenience store. And I guess there's no problem with you staying. I followed Ace upstairs to his bedroom. On my eyes. Yeah. Pictures. Could you take this stuff off your wall, please? Is that my feet? Perv. Alright. Pictures of me hung on the wall of what was otherwise a perfectly normal room. Most of me were at work or at a bar, but a few of them were taken while I was in college.
Tell anyone about this, I will find out where you live.
All right.
And I will burn your house down.
Okay, what was that? Who is that? Who was that? You did, highway. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. But thank you for following. You know how I'm here. Ooh, I wonder. I wonder. I wonder how you're here. Alright. Sorry about the mess. I didn't think you'd want to stay over. So I never bothered with cleaning up. It's just some paper. My place is even worse. What's this? He kicked some of the paper that was strewn across the floor into the corner to stop me from reading what was written on them. It's nothing. Despite his attempts, I was able to make out some of the words. Did you script out everything you were gonna say? Please don't read anything. He shoved whatever he could in the small trash can he can beside the fish tank. Not good at improv, so I wrote most of the things I wanted to say. Not all of it was scripted, just the beginning was. It's mostly guidelines on what to do if certain topics are brought up. Most of it wasn't used since... most of it wasn't used. There's a bot. Sorry, bot in chat. Oh, really? Your headphones don't work? Huh, wow. And you just made the account today? Wow. All right. The same copy and paste message that bots do. All right. Most of it wasn't you, since I was really hoping we wouldn't talk about Austin. Ignore it for now. I'll get rid of it in the morning. Anyways, I'll be sleeping on the couch if you need anything. You're not sleeping with me. I thought that's why you brought me here. Huh? No, I don't have a spare room for you to sleep in. This is the best option. Next best option. Yeah. Bots can't hear. They don't have ears, so it makes sense why they would want me to type in chat. So this is the next best option. He tried to leave, but I grabbed his wrist and pulled him back before he could get far. Ace pressed himself closer to the wall in an attempt to give me more space. Thank you for giving me a chance to know. This is the best date I've ever been on. Not that I've been on any other dates. I can't even bring myself to try and date others when it's you I love. There's been times where I wonder if there was something wrong with me for not liking anyone else the way I like you. And when the people around me had a new partner before I could say anything, Oh! I pressed my lips against his. Shut up, I'm trying to sleep. Good night. Night. There we go. That's that one. There's like multiple endings. Well, I don't know what this is. I'm not interested. I'm sorry, but not interested like that. The music stopped. Even if we used to be friends, it didn't feel right to date him knowing what I did. Yeah, honestly, that's what I got surprised by, was this is a yaoi game. Usually, the main character, you get to choose their gender, but for this, automatically gay. Male MC. Anyway. Even if we used to be friends, it didn't feel right to date him knowing what I did. I expected you to say something like that. I've been in love with you for so long. I was hoping that by doing this, you'd give an answer that would make me fall out of love. And if we ended up dating, that would be great too. I'm not sure I'll ever stop loving you, but I can promise that I'll never bother you again. That's fine by me. The ride home was silent. Yeah, this is the thing with him, is he's he's different from most yanderes where, you know, they'll kidnap you, they'll never give you a choice to leave or not. This one, he's like, yeah, you'll leave. No one will believe you that the famous actor Ace has kidnapped you and fell in love with you. No one will believe you. He handed me the keys to my handcuffs and drove away. I guess it's the same thing. It was tempting to go along with him. If we dated, I wouldn't have to worry about work or rent. He'd help me become an actor, and who knew what else he would do for me. Still, I don't think this was a decision I'd regret. Him giving me a better life meant he could easily ruin it whenever he wanted. If we got together, I'd be counting the days until we got into another fight. Then we'd go our separate ways and go back to how things were. I like this a lot. Very fun. Very, very fun. Yandere thing. Let me find some more stuff. Close. I said exit. I said quit. And you didn't quit. Visual novel. Kidnapped for a date. Okay. What's this one? Let me see. There's That New Diner, My New Tenant. Or we can play the update for Overdose. We'll play My New Tenant. I think this is like a monster fucking game. Basically a monster game. My New Tenant. I don't think it's yandere. Unless it is. My New Tenant. No. It's just, oh my god, the music is loud. It's just a monster game. Oh, come on. Ugh, God. Here we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. There we go. This is My New Tenant. People like monsters and romancing them, and this is that. Right. I have to turn my volume for my game, my interface all the way down because the music is loud. Alright. It's been a couple months since you moved into your grandfather's old farmhouse. It left behind some things, but nothing you miss. A job you didn't like, a home that was suffocating, friends you didn't really care much for. Worrying parents that still call you several times a week. You're okay with that, though? What? I don't know. The night sky was perfectly dark out here. In the middle of nowhere, there was no stress from work, no noise from the city. Just silence and peace, and neighbors too far away to bother you. It's a nice house, and it's familiar. Filled with good memories, overall, this is a great place. You thought you'd get better here. All that anxiety, the nervousness, the constant fidgeting. And it did. Kind of. But more so in the way that you now completely avoid everything that stressed you out before. When you do have to interact with someone, it's 10 times worse than before. You're not sure how you'll be able to ignore this for the rest of your life. Maybe it's time for therapy after all. You've never been to therapy, you have no idea how it works. But not knowing that is making you anxious. So you can at least imagine something. First things first, there's going to be a greeting. You're going to introduce yourself. Yeah. You either get the girl or the boy. The boy. Hi, my name is Jay. The therapist will nod. It's nice to meet you, Jay. My name is... you don't have a name for your therapist. You're very bad at making up names. My name is therapist. The therapist is going to say, so far, so good, you can handle that. So what are you here for? That's going to be a great question. Well, the stress, probably the anxiety. Maybe the fact that you've also started talking to yourself and your thoughts way more than often. Like talk. Not just forming words, but literally talk with your thoughts. Like it's another person. The voice in your head is a bit snarky at sometimes. This can't be healthy. Probably, how would you know? You're no therapist or psychology major or whatever. You have no idea how it'll continue after you tell them that. Deep breaths, Jay. Deep breaths. Alright, you can do this tomorrow. I'm going to look up some therapists on nearby and give them a call to find out if they still take patients. Okay. You're right, terrible things. Those phone calls. Maybe you can write an email instead. An email sounds good! It won't be easy, but you're sure you can do this. Tomorrow, you'll get up, eat something, take a shower, just in case they ask you to come over immediately. Which they might do. How would you know? You've never been to therapy. It'd be so much easier if you knew what was going on, what was going to happen. Deep breaths, Jay. I think it's alright. Ooh. Find yourself calming down just the tiniest bit. Great! Or would be great if this wasn't the moment you heard a noise outside. You're decently sure you didn't imagine it. There's something or someone out there. Definitely someone friendly. Definitely. Could I just not check? Could I just not check? Not recommended. It could be a raccoon or something, which would be fine, but your neighbors told you about bears. You do not want bears. It could also be an intruder, which is no better, because those could come into your home. Let me turn that down. Maybe you shouldn't have moved so far into the countryside. Right next to the forest. It can get pretty scary. At least you have Grandpa's trusty shotgun. I don't know how to shoot guns. And you also don't want to hit anyone. So that's perfect, isn't it? You grab the shotgun, whether you like it or not. The weight feels comforting in your hands. You listen at the door for further sounds, but it's quiet. So you open the door as slowly as possible and peek outside. Nothing. There's no one around, but the noise did come from the direction of the NP farm right next to the house. Maybe something is inside there. You're still convincing yourself that it's some small animal as you approach. Small animals sound like the best option right now. Next to it being nothing. But it's something. It's a damn large shadow that twitches in a corner when you peek into the suspiciously open barn door. Who's there? Come out. You don't sound threatening. You sound like someone who did not want to check the barn at night. And who definitely doesn't want to shoot. What? Sorry. Someone or something doesn't move. So you're unsure. You're sure it's there. I have a gun. Come out or shoot. No, you won't. But you do raise the shotgun just a bit. The moment you do, there's a growl. It's a deep, throaty noise, and you're immediately sure it's not a wolf or a dog or a bear. There's no way for an animal to make such a human sound. But then again, there's no way for a human to growl like that either. Oh god, you want to leave. but you don't. You stand your ground, shuffling the tiny spit to the side, while totally not quivering like a leaf in the wind. You find the light switch, click. The light shouldn't be affecting your sense of smell, but only when it's on, it's giving you a visual input. You do realize it smells like iron. There's a bright red trail from the barn entrance to where the figure is cowering on the ground. It's definitely not a small figure, and you spot the heavily bleeding gashes on its side immediately. You'd be shocked seeing someone bleed this much if you weren't shocked by the one bleeding. It's a man, you think. Male? Maybe more accurately. He's not happy to be disturbed. Several eyes. I count 4 pairs staring at you. Teeth still bared in a growl. Dangerously long horns and spikes run from his head down his back into a scaled tail that is raised in a threatening twitch. The long clawed fingers are digging into the ground. Where's his gashes? There. The creature is terrifying. But it's hot though. It's hurt. Pity and worry for the pain of the living creature manages to dampen your fear considerably. There's a lot of blood on the floor, so the wound can't be small. It also has to be hurting a ton. Let your eyes wander over the creature, trying to locate all the injuries, momentarily finding yourself transfixated by the gorgeous icy blue eyes that are staring you down. So beautiful. As you're staring, fascinated, the thing lowers its growl into a rough rumble. Snap out of it, finally taking a moment to assess your situation. This is not a human. This is not an animal either. This is in fact not a being that you have ever experienced to see outside of a movie or drawings. Yeah, here it is. This is a monster in your barn, and you're not going to question that for a moment. Because if you think about it too deeply, you're going to have a nervous breakdown. They are hot, so anyway. Creature doesn't look hostile, more wary. It's still bleeding, but now is slowly moving its way away from its injured side, sitting up. You can see its legs, formed differently from yours, much more suited to walk on all fours. It doesn't look as odd as you thought such a thing should look. Try not to stare too hard and keep your voice as calm as you can. Can you understand what I'm saying? One of the 2 pairs of eyes, ears twitch forward, the growl quiets further, now pretty subtle. The creature continues to stare down, skeptical. I have a feeling he understands you. The one very judgmental gaze right there. Alright. But you didn't even do anything still. That's the most important thing in this moment. That's the most important thing right now, is that they are hot. You wanna fuck them. Alright. What is this one? Well, you've been staring hard enough and the sound didn't. Comment did sound like you're questioning its intelligence. And to be fair, maybe it's always has that judgmental look about it. You wouldn't know, you just might have. The man you decide to call it for now doesn't honor you with his response. Give it another try. Do you need help? Duh. Bleeding out on the floor, I'm sure he's fine. More ear twitching. Finally, he stops growling completely. He just exhales through his nose, audibly, and shifts his weight further. He's leaning against the barn wall now. 2 eyes moving to look at his wound while the rest keep staring at you. How's his brain processing the information of them all looking in different directions? You'll have to look up how chameleons do that. Okay. Anyway, he seems to have judged you as not a danger to himself. You're about as dangerous as a fly, and so he's right about that. With the man seeming more approachable, you decide to squat down, trying to approach frightened and hurt animals. It's best to make yourself as small as possible. I'm not sure about frightened or animal, but the man sure is hurt, so the concept should be familiar. Get a frown in return for your movement, then a worried growl when you put down your shotgun. I'm not trying to hurt you. See? I put away the gun. Praying you don't regret this. You're hurt. Can I take a look? All eyes return to focus on you. The bleeding does appear to have stopped. The man suddenly beginning to look rather exhausted, wary. You've seen your grandfather take care of sick animals before. This isn't a look of surrender, it's a look of someone giving up. It doesn't even react anymore when you shuffle forwards. Letting his head fall to the side a bit, eyes almost closed. So it'll be alright, hopefully. Up close, the man is twice as beautiful. It's just enough. There's just enough human about him for you to regard him as humanoid, but enough animal and monster to feel foreign. You've never seen anything like him before. You've thankfully seen bad injuries before, because wow, that looks nasty. Considering your previous job, so you're not put off by this stench of iron. The wound looks bad. It's hard to tell under all that blood, but it's mangled to look like a wound to look after an animal attack. Maybe one of those bears. You don't exactly have the equipment to treat a wound like this at home, but you do have enough that you can get him patched up. The rest will rely on his own healing powers, which hopefully are better than a human's. A human's most certainly wouldn't survive this outside a hospital. But a human doesn't have 8 eyes and doesn't react to pain at all. Does it not react to pain at all? So you're pretty optimistic. I'll be back in a moment. I'm gonna get some things to help you with that wound, okay? I think he understands. Judging from the way he exhales through his nose again. Man monster lets you do whatever. He watches you with a gaze as someone fully expecting to be stabbed with a knife at any second. Surprise starts to mix in when you don't do that. Instead, nudging him carefully so you can work on that injury. His skin is cold like that of reptiles. When you get him to move his arm, his stomach reveals tight lines of muscles and the lack of a belly button. Your focus could be on the latter, but since it's you we're talking about, it's not. Gotta grope those abs. No, not appropriate. This is a family friendly. No, it's not. He's not exactly wearing clothes, like at all. Well, yes, he isn't. He looks annoyed. Like, God, just stop being horny right now. But there's nothing revealed that shouldn't be revealed. You could say that the scales and plates on his skin are his clothes. But don't think too deeply about that. It's not anatomy. Yeah, that's going down a rabbit hole. When you're done with the wound on his waist, you check the rest of him. There's streaks of blood on his face where his fingers had dug into the ground. Bloody drops have colored the earth darker. You wipe away what you can and let him lie where he is. Breathing shallowly, all eyes almost closed. Something tells you that he is resilient. He will make this with some help. Food and water, shelter, time. Safety. To not be found by wild animals or worse. Humans who would love to get their hands on a thing that has never been seen before. You can offer him that. Obviously, he can rest here. You're not going to throw out a hurt person when he's not being docile. You can stay here if you'd like, as long as you don't hurt me. I don't mind you occupying the barn. Single eye opens, focusing on you, then another huff. His tail whips around his side, the tip coiling the ground in front of you. I'll interpret that as an agreement. He doesn't respond anymore. Little by little, all tension leaves his body. He's tired from whatever fight has caused his wounds. He needs rest. His body tilts over to the side, once again crawling up tightly. You haven't killed him so far, and even if you wanted to, he's not in the mood to put on a lot of resistance. He's sleeping or passed out, face is much softer. You hold back the urge to touch it and leave him alone. Hey, if monsters exist, then maybe the voice in your head talking to you like it's another person isn't so weird after all. Wait, does that make it better or worse? You sleep fitfully that night, dreaming of eyes and slithering scales. When morning comes, you're almost eager to check if last night has been a very detailed hallucination. On the way, you pass by the bloody tissues you've thrown into the trash. Not a dream after all. When you check on the stranger, here's where you left him, almost shuffle off to the side, a bit more hidden away but awake. Fully startled by the noise, he quickly gets up. The wariness thankfully passes almost immediately. Hello. Recognizing you, he tilts his head. A thin, forked tongue slithers out between his lips. Pale tongue is gone, before I can really look at it. Was he sniffing the air just now? Snakes mainly smell through their noses, through their tongues. You know that. That you have knowledge about snakes. I don't know. What should we do? Stop staring? You're going to get the condescending gaze again. You're ridiculously easily distracted by his looks. That's fine in itself, but it doesn't have to know about that. Back to the topic. The main point is the sniffing isn't a threatening gesture, quite like the growling, although, to be honest, there's so much from different animals mixing. How can you trust what you knew? You can see it more as a greeting. Hello. So that's what you decided to do, at least. Compared to yesterday, he looks more relaxed. Probably helped you haven't tried to kill him. I brought you some water and a meal, if you want any. You don't even need to tell him that. 2 eyes are on you. 2 eyes looking around and 4 fixed on what you're carrying. All the way until you put it down in front of him. You have no idea what the man with the fur-like hair who growls, has scales, horns, and 8 eyes, and 4 ears might eat. So you didn't bring only water, you also brought milk and juice, and just in case, the plate is carefully balanced mixture of meat, vegetables, fruit, egg, and bread. Without hesitation, the man goes for the hard-boiled egg first. Apparently confused for a moment when he notices the inside is not fluid anymore, and follows it up by the meat. He's like, huh? Oh. You observe him as he eats. He's not purely carnivorous. He eats the fruit next, then the vegetables, and even the bread after some suspicious licks and nibbles. His tongue flicks out and licks over his lips several times, long and thin. It doesn't match the rest of his mouth. Hold on, sorry. I am back. Sorry about that. You leave him to his meal, mostly observing his preferences, but not bothering him. Once he's done eating, it's time to check on his wounds. Can I check how your wounds look? He shifts the tiniest bit. Yes, you think. This time, you say your thoughts out loud while you're working. How the wound looks, what you're checking. His ears flick and twitch, all 8 of eyes focused on you. He's listening, but how much he can understand, you wouldn't know. He has yet to give you a sign. This looks good. It's stopped bleeding. There's not a single sign of infection. I don't think you should move around too much, though, or you might tear it open again. They sat down in front of the man. Well, since you might be here for a while, let's get along. My name is Jay. I live here alone. So you won't have to worry about anyone else seeing you. My neighbors are pretty far away. We don't really interact a lot. You babble on. It's easier to talk to someone who is listening but not commenting. I don't get visitors often, mostly because I don't spend a lot of time with other people. People are scary. The way his gaze turns absolutely incredulous at that statement almost makes you laugh. You? Scared? Yeah, you got confirmation that he understands you. That's cool. Seriously, I'm usually super awkward around others. Can't get the words out. I can see that happening because what that guy says. Your existence is so surprising that I'm finding it hard to get scared, like my brain isn't exactly treating this as real. What even are you, what's your name? Do you have a name? Can you say it? Man looks at you for a while, then growls. Not growl, growls. It's a very specific growl, an odd intonation, and it's hard to describe, but you think it's an introduction. Yeah, can't pronounce that. He thinks again. Then he speaks, which is a nice way to say that he imitates the sound of words the way a parrot might. Varen. Varen. I don't know how, like, if he's like, Varen. He doesn't correct you, so you must have managed to get it right. Maybe this is how you'd pronounce his name in human language. Cool, nice to meet you, Varen. You're starting to realize that Varen is actually very expressive. You can basically tell what he's thinking just by looking at him. You're odd, rude. Ow. Ow. His eyes and ears, his tail, the way he tilts his head, and even the crease of his mouth are constantly conveying messages to you. It's so much easier to read him than humans. I didn't even realize my heater was on. How is the monster easier to read than humans? Humans, what are you doing? Stop being so complicated. Oh yeah. Thinking about humans, you're gonna propose that therapist. Yeah. I mean, too bad. Back to business. For convenience, do you think you could talk me directly? Is this really necessary? Head tilt. Fair point. You're not having a lot of problems reading him. I don't want to bother him. Alright. He looks silently back. Your mother always said that it's hard to deny anything when you look disappointed. You continue doing so. Vera's tail starts to flick. The longer you silently look disappointed, the bigger the flicks. Then he gives you a tiny, non-threatening growl of annoyance. You humans are complicated. Vera speaks slowly, but make sure to have every word pronounced correctly. There's not even a lisp. It seems he knows all the words, but needs a bit to get used to them saying out loud. Actually, his mouth moves very little while he talks. Maybe he has another way of making speaking your language. You try not too hard to get giddy at the fact that he's fully fulfilling your wish. You have about 4 dozen questions, but you need to ask him one by one. Priorities. Huh. Sure are. But, about you. Do you need anything? Like a blanket, or a mattress to lie down, or... food. You still hungry? I can get you more. What do you want? Eggs. I've got more, 1 hard-boiled egg and 2 fresh ones in the kitchen. How many do you want? He looks at you. How many? How so many? I guess I'm gonna drop by one of my neighbor's place after all. One guy has a chicken farm. I can buy a lot of eggs there. The owner is very quiet and doesn't care about anyone's business. He's not gonna ask what you need a lot of eggs for. Thought of dropping by gives you a twinge in your stomach, though. Are you hurt? Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's anxiety. Anxiety. That was that face. You notice that you've wrapped your arms around yourself. Awkward. You notice you wave them around to show you're fine. Oh no, not hurt, just anxious. But I'm going there to get you a meal, so I can do it. No problem at all. He's like, what? Anxious? Why are you anxious about talking to your species? Humans weird. The attractive monster in your barn wants a meal, so you're gonna get him a meal. Soon. For now. Other than food, are you okay here? Baron nods. I need rest. He gingerly puts one hand on his waist, where the bandages are, conveying up his injury. You're going to get him a meal in a moment, but his sleeping situation is more or less covered. I wish you could see my face. I'm like, oh my god. Of course you want them to sleep in your bed. Of course you want them to sleep in your bed. You, bitch. Of course you want them to do that. Why wouldn't you? You horny bastard. Alright. Let's actually see what that does. Why did you say that out loud? You don't think he completely understands what you're implying. Maybe because he doesn't know what a bed is, but it's gay sure turns suspicious. No, I'll stay. He motions to where he is. Okay. Oh, sure. Ashamed. Stop it already. He's like, human weird. Why does human want me to sleep in their bed? I can sleep here. No problem. Over time they'll be, oh, you wanna fuck me. Sorry. How does someone like you have social anxiety? No, don't answer that. I guess this is how much you're into what's in front of you. Will you be clear? He huffs, most certainly not. You're tempted to procrastinate visiting your neighbor further, but the gorgeous monster man wants his meal. To your surprise, you manage very well. Your neighbor assumes you've got visitors over according to a comment he makes. And you don't correct him. Oh yeah. The monster is waiting for your return with his head raised, his tongue flicking out repeatedly. Lunch is here. Sorry. You act like you've been calm all along, but it's the side of the not human who's soothing your nerves. Did I mess that up? How the hell did I? Sorry. You act like you've been calm along, but it's the side of the not human who's soothing your nerves. You hand him a basket of what's a dozen raw eggs. He picks up the first handful of eggs, holding them to his mouth. His jaw unhinges. There's like a snake-likeness in the movement, though his teeth shows off. Though the teeth he shows off are decidedly not snake-like. Sorry about that. Behind a row of sharp carnivore teeth are little spikes covering the inside of his mouth. Standing up further, the more he opens his mouth, if he bites into something, it's not gonna free itself without flesh tearing viciously. His mouth closes around the egg with a crunch. Something tells you that he could do the same with a school. I mean, he's a good protector. Okay, but that's still what? Still what? What? If you don't mind your enemies splattered all over the room at least. Theron is busy finishing up his early lunch, which means you have a solid 3 minutes to just stare at him until the basket is empty. Jaw back in place, he looks at you with some eyes, not all of them. He likes keeping a watch over his environment. Why are you helping me? Huh? I don't know. Just feel it. Like, if you're wondering why I'm not killing you or sending you someplace or whatever, there's no reason to. It's just a horrible thing to do. Like, you're a person, you know, just why would I do that? The more he talks, the smoother the words come out. You're marveling at the sound of his voice until you register what he's asking, huh? Humans don't like strangers. He's very right there. It's one thing humans can't stand. Then it's things that they don't understand. If it's a living thing, an intelligent living thing, then it's worse. You're not scared. You were, but before you saw me. With him slowing, deliberately pronouncing every word in his low, rumbly voice. Again, a whole live ASMR experience. Yeah, I was worried that there was an intruder, which, okay, you technically are an intruder, but I mean, a dangerous intruder. Unhinged jaw, school breaker, which you technically are. What I'm trying to say is, I was scared that there would be something or someone who wanted to harm me. I'm not scared because of a bear, because it's a bear, I'm scared of being attacked. And you aren't attacking me. I could be waiting. You could be, it just doesn't feel like it. I'm not making a lot of sense, I don't know. You awkwardly laugh and play with your sleeve. Sometimes you're so bad with words in explaining what you mean. You don't make sense. Varen takes longer to reply this time, searching for the right translation. Trust can only be earned when given. I couldn't prove that I won't harm you unless you give me a chance. Which you did. Oh. Embarrassment flushes over your face. You start rambling immediately, as you tend to do when you're nervous. Honestly, it's because us humans are totally superficial. Nothing pretty or cute is dangerous. So I came in expecting an intruder, and then I saw you. And sure, you're very obviously not something I've seen around, so I should have been worried. But also, you're insanely gorgeous, which made me go, pretty thing can't be dangerous. All of Varen's eyes blink. One pair after the other. Down the row. from what I know, humans don't like. He fails trying to get all the words together, what he means. His eyes narrow in thought until he has the words put together. Oh, don't like things that look like humans, but they're not completely. The fake human bodies made from wood and other materials, or art everywhere on your skin, or humans with different colors. Oh, dolls, tattoos, and skin color. He's gonna point there. You're gonna find a lot of people who don't like the uncanny valley with dolls, who think tattoos and piercings are ugly, and who are just plain racist. What he apparently doesn't know is that there are equal amount of people who do like it. Beauty standards are a very subjective matter. Some people like it different. It's plain curiosity in Varen's voice. He's not teasing you or trying to be mean at all. Like you. Yep. Like me. We don't talk about the kinds of books you read and games you play. There's a pattern there, Jay. There's definitely a pattern. Even if you haven't noticed it until today. Sorry. They say that fiction and reality can be compared, but the truth is that in your specific case, there's some rather unclear lines. Like, I honestly, like, the thing is, it's like, well, I could be ignorant and a shitty person just because I don't understand you, but just I wouldn't be in a situation where, I'm just some creature who's just wanting to, like, some person, monster who wants to survive, injured, and some person is just wanting to kill you because, it's just unfair. Not cool. Hold on. Thank you. He leans forward a bit. You try hard not to squeak. You don't appear dangerous either. Yeah, because you're weak and your eyes are pretty. Oh. It's like, are you okay? It's like, I'm fine. Alright. It's like, thank you. I love that you compliment me. Why your face red? No, reason. There's no reason. No reason at all. There's no specific reason. Did he just do not squeak, do not squeak? He's only replying to your comment about being pretty dang can't be dangerous. Does he really think you have pretty eyes? You have to look away for a moment to breathe. Since we talked about me being scared, what about you? How did you come to hide in here? And speaking of, why didn't you attack me? Farrah's nose creases slightly. His tail flicks around in unhinged agitation. There was an intruder. One of my own from my space. Home area. Your territory? An area that you've marked as yours? Yes. if I would, but he wasn't alone. Implying that after their fight was over, more intruders appeared for him. You've got injured and had to retreat, landing you here where you hid away. Wait, how many of you are there? Varen mimics a shrug. How's it that there's a whole species out there having territorial fights and they haven't been found yet? Wow, okay. Sorry, anxiety. Sorry. Alright, let me just continue. Very mimics. Although maybe they have, and it's been covered up. Better not to ask too much. I can't kill a human. I could have fought back if you attacked, but more might have come again. I also cannot hunt. Too many questions. Can't hunt? You were bleeding a lot, but you already healed up a ton. It looked bad to me, but was it that bad for you? I need too many wounds. I don't know to explain. I can move, but not a lot. I am healing, but not yet on the inside. I can only heal this quickly when I can sleep. So to summarize, it looks like he's almost fully healed already, just on the surface. Injuries run deeper, and he can't walk, let alone hunt. Which means he was risking starvation without support. Why can't you kill a human? It's forbidden. If we kill a human, your species will attempt to destroy us immediately. Okay. I'm gonna have to say that. Okay. I guess they understand, like, we are a civilization, so if they attack, it's kind of like a declaration of war. Can you tell I was the only one here? Yes, but humans have ways to call others from very far. Sorry. Oh, yes. Phones, of course. If he's not entirely sure how technology works, then he has to be wary of you doing something, and there certainly be a whole horde of humans. In the end, what was your plan? Hide away from the intruders? That much I get, but wasn't it a bad idea to do so this close to humans? They won't come close to here. The most dangerous place can be the safest one. And I've watched this place. It's my territory. You rarely left, and only during the day I believed I had a chance you wouldn't notice. You sure are getting called out today, aren't you? If you hadn't been awake in the middle of the night because you were too fidgety in your sleep, definitely would have missed the noise. And since you never entered this barn, you wouldn't have found him either. Good thing that, for once in my life, I left the house when I didn't want to. The Baron gives you a look for that. If this is the territory you live in, then we are practically neighbors. Are you going to reclaim it for the intruders? From the intruders? You pray that he's going to. You don't want him to get into another fight. But the thought of him living nearby and maybe dropping by once in a while is nice. His throat rumbles slightly. Yes. Condescending gaze plus fucking horny bitch. You horny bastard. Determined, proud, and slightly aggressive gazes on her. Don't you dare twirl your hair. Kick him like an idiot. Hold it back. Awesome. That means I'll continue to see you around. Yes. You're definitely allowed. Always welcome here. You grab his hand in excitement. Varen twitches a little, 4 eyes peering down, but he doesn't pull back his hands. You only vaguely notice how he curls up his fingers a bit, twisting the sharp nails away from your skin. Oh, sorry. He honestly looks a bit conflicted, which in turn makes you awkward. But pulling your hands away right now would make it more awkward. So sorry if it is touching no good. His expression eases up. He moves his fingers again until they're resting comfortably without risking hurting you. It's alright. I was only surprised. So he's not against this. That's good to know. The soothing tone he has makes you relax. You're still holding hands, by the way. And aren't planning on letting them go. You have little scales around your fingertips. Great observation, Gaze. Proud of you. Perfect thing to say here. It steadies the claws. Oh my gosh, he calls them claws. We use them to fight, like you. You humans are soft compared to us. Hey, I've got some muscle. He looks over. You feel a little shiver down your spine when he hums thoughtfully. Soft. Alright, if he's into soft, you're perfectly okay being soft. Another pair of eyes drop down to your hands. 3 pairs now, still holding hands. This has been okay while he's ignored it. Now he's staring. Jerk your hands back, laughing awkwardly and rubbing them. I guess since humans use tools, we don't need hard claws, but I'm a bit envious. I think tiny scales are cool. You show off your hands, pointing at your fingernails. Honestly, you have no idea what you're talking about right now, but you're only attempting to get past the awkwardness. Middle of your rambling, I touch your hands you're holding up and gently tugs it towards him. He holds it carefully, rubbing a thumb over your fingertips. You're certainly no fighter. How do you keep yourself safe? I don't go out, so there's no threat to my safety. Varen looks troubled. And if you do have to go out like yesterday, if it had been something else, not me, he huffs. You need someone strong to watch over you. Make sure to choose a partner that can protect you. Partner? He's still playing with your hands. Oh my gosh, someone help. Mate, companion. Oh, a husband. There's a really great husband candidate rising right in front of you. It's very strong, very hot. Try hard not to choke when you're somehow simultaneously having to swallow and laugh. Do you have one? He gives you a tiny shake of the head and lets go of your hands. Some of his eyes drop on you, his expression somewhat resigned. Not me. It takes you a second to realize that this isn't him answering your question. It's him responding to the thing you didn't say. What about him as a candidate for you to date? This is technically a rejection. So you should feel bad, but you're not, because you already noticed he's very expressive. And right now, he doesn't seem to be too happy He doesn't seem to be too happy to be rejecting you. Can I ask why? If you don't mind me asking. Varen seriously studies you again, then taps a finger against your arm. Even with you wearing long sleeves, there's a distinct difference in build. I think I might accidentally hurt you. What actions exactly are we talking about that could cause him to accidentally hurt you? I'm sure that's not right. You're a very kind guy. Don't you be that careless. He doesn't believe you at all. It's fair to say that this guy could, without warning to, squish you to death. But you see no signs that he'd treat another living being that roughly. Rack your brain on how to prove that to him. How about a hug? You can hug me and you'll see that I'm not that fragile. His tail flicks around for a while. Once it settles, you can read from his eyes he thinks this isn't a completely stupid suggestion, at least. You open your arms wide. Varen moves in slow motion, crawling on his arms around your waist and pulling you over with the least amount of strength possible. You're surprised he pulls you all the way into his lap, making sure you're settled comfortably before he tightens the hug the tiniest bit. Frankly speaking, you'd never let the guy go if staying like this was an option. His body temperature is colder than yours, but not uncomfortably so, just the tiniest bit cool. He's all smooth muscles and those hard scalp like plates that make you want to let your hands wander all over. You're not gonna do that, but you do wrap your arms around his neck. Stay alive. Still alive. You announce the fact that you're still breathing and feel an amused huff of air against your ear. Varen does tighten the hug, but not without pausing constantly, checking your reactions. Compared to you, this guy is a gentleman. You lean back a bit so you can look into his eyes, or well, at his face in general. His tongue flicks out again, which is, up close, seriously cute. You can barely refrain from touching his lips. You really have no fear. You're just not particularly scary. You've been nothing but courteous to me. Restrain yourself from touching his lips. Varen's eyes narrow a bit. You may be restraining yourself, but you're proud. I'm proud of you for that. But you're not exactly a subtle person. You're exceptionally bad at hiding whenever you're trying not to look, or something tells you that Varen is very much aware of it. He's still debating on what to do about it, judging from the look on his face. You do know this guy can literally watch the movement from your eyes. Hands and overall body at once, right? There's no hiding that suspicious shifting. Give it up, he's noticed already. Varen's nose taps against yours, by which I mean he's really close to you. I don't know you. Human courting well. Is this an invitation court? You don't choke on your own spit. Congratulations. But you do turn bright red. Why are you embarrassed at all? You already talked about the possibility of becoming your partner. But the word courting has tipping you over. Please don't forget that he asked you a question. Yes. Squeeze out the most hesitant yes that a yes can be. You didn't intend to be inviting him to kiss you, but, you know, if he's willing, then there's no reason to say no. Your thoughts only get so far. Yes! 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 Varen has none of your nervous hesitation. He simply tilts his head slightly. The cold surface of his rough lips brush against yours. You freeze up completely. There's no force behind the gentle kiss. And the way his arms loosen around you gives you enough space to escape if you wanted to. You don't. Relax the tension in your muscles and lean forward a bit, pressing your limbs closer together. A little shiver runs down your spine when you feel the cold tip of his tongue lick them slightly. Vera knows how to, certainly knows how to kiss someone, you realize. If you weren't sitting already, you'd be feeling your knees go weak when his tongue enters your mouth, teasing and tickling, wrapping around yours with a flexibility that's not possible for a human. You almost want to complain when he pulls away, but the low purr of Vern's voice keeps you quiet. Breathe. You in hell. He licks the trail of saliva not only from his mouth, but your lips as well, causing your breath to get stuck in your throat again before he looks at you in an indulgent sigh. If you suffocate from a kiss, I was just unprepared. You grumble, hiding your face inside the nape of his neck. Are you this intent on courting me? You meant to exchange the word courting with the more comfortable flirting. If you don't like it, then I don't not like it. But I've only known you since yesterday. I mean, not expecting anything right now. Not expecting anything right now, but can we continue to get to know each other and you can come by even after you're healthy and get your territory back? One of his hands touches the back of your head, carefully brushing through your hair. If you want that, I do. Then yes. You hug him tighter, sighing with relief. Probably this would be the right moment to move away from his lap, change the topic, and do something else. But you're unwilling to move. It's comfortable here. Despite your worry that you'll get pushed off, it doesn't happen. Baron only makes a low sound again, like a purr, and continues to brush his hand through your hair. Your monster, you can't help but think, is a very gentle one. I love it. Love it. Love that. I'm having anxiety, but I will be right back.